So yesterday I told a story time that took place when I was 12 years old. It was a long time ago. It was one of those old story times. And today I thought, you know what? I'm going to talk about something that took place very recently. Or not very recently, but way more recent than 12 years old. So this story time I'm about to tell today took place about 6 months ago. And it's one of my favorite stories just because of how funny and ridiculous and just insane it is. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave a like on the video if you do. Let's get into it. So today's story time all takes place 6 months ago. I was at one of my friend's houses. We'll just call his friend Chris. Okay, me and Chris have been friends for probably about 4 years now. One of my close friends to this day. And he had just moved into a new house of his. He had just bought a house for the first time. I was stoked. I was hanging out over there. I think it was either my first time seeing it or it was my second time being there. And he had finally had like all the furniture moved in. And it was really cool. We were just hanging out at his house, kicking it on his couch. We were watching some TV. And then we were going to have a cookout later that night with a bunch of our homies. And it was just set to be a really good night, right? And for the most part, it was. Now, a few hours later, we were in the backyard, grilling, cooking out. My homie was making some burgers, some hot dogs. Me and Chris were at the table, just kicking it. And there was a couple of our other friends in the house as well. We were just all hanging out, having a good night, right? When all of a sudden, we hear the sliding glass door swing open. And one of our friends runs around the corner outside and goes, "Yo, Chris, you gotta come to your front door, dude. Like, there is a naked man at your front door." And Chris just kind of laughed it off. And he was like, "Yeah, sure, dude." And so did I, because this friend that told us about this quote unquote naked man, he was notoriously known for trolling. He just always trolled us and lied to us and misled us. So we didn't believe him. But then the dude goes, "No, dude, I'm serious. Like, there is a naked man at your front door asking me for help." And at that point, me and Chris both stand up. The dude on the grill, he stops grilling, and we fucking start walking over to the front door because we want to know what the hell's going on. We want to see this. We want to see if it's real. Now, upon all of us walking up to the front door and looking through the little glass window on the front door, nobody's there. There's no naked man. So we all look over at our friend and we're like, "Dude, really?" And he's like, "Dude, no, this isn't a prank. I swear on everything, like on my mother's life, bro. There was a naked man at your front door banging on the door. I answered it. He asked for help. Now he's gone." And then our buddy, one of the other friends that was in the house, he comes up behind us. He's like, "No, dude, he's telling the truth. There was a naked man. Like, I swear." And now we're all confused, right? Like, we don't know who's telling the truth. We don't know if they're both messing with us. Like, we're just confused. We don't know what's going on, right? So we decide to like kind of just be like, all right, whatever. Like, maybe there was a naked guy. Maybe there wasn't. Let's just go back to grilling. So we go back to the backyard. At this point, everybody comes into the backyard and we're just hanging out back there, cooking out, getting ready to eat dinner together. And about 10 minutes later, just as we're about to eat, like we all sit down, the food's getting served, we hear this like blood-curdling scream from the front yard. It sounded like almost fake. It sounded like it was so crazy and loud that like it was getting played from a speaker or something. And it also sounded like a male screaming, like a loud male scream, like a terrifying scream. So we all immediately stand up and run around the side of the house to the front to try and see what's going on. And when I turn that corner with all my homies, we see this man in the front yard running towards us, and he is naked. And in my head, I think, oh, that's the naked man. There he is. He was real all along. And my second thought was, there is a naked man running full speed right towards me and my friends. And if we don't move, his nakedness might touch me. And I want nothing to do with that. I don't want him to bump into me at all, especially while he's not wearing clothes. So we all step out of the way, and he runs by us, screaming. And as soon as he runs by us, my friend, the one that saw him at the door earlier on, was like, "I fucking told y'all. I told y'all he was real, and y'all didn't believe me." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm glad you feel validated, but that doesn't change the fact that there's a naked man running through Chris's neighborhood screaming." And right after this, literally like right after I say that, this car comes barreling down the neighborhood road super fast, slamming on their horn, and there's two like college kids hanging out the window with air horns, blaring these air horns and screaming, "Where'd you go? Where are you running off to?" And right after seeing this, I already knew what was going down. This guy was definitely pledging for a frat or something. Because I know a lot of these frats, they'll make you do the craziest shit to get in. Like there's like these initiations and you have to like do this crazy stuff, right? And I guarantee this one was run through a neighborhood naked or knock on a door naked or something, which honestly is kind of fucked up when you think about it. Cause like you're subjecting innocent people to witness this naked man. Like Thank fuck there wasn't any kids around when this happened, because like that would just be awful for them to witness. But anyway, after this car comes speeding down the road and passes by Chris's house, we're all just left standing there, just confused and also like wanting to be done with the whole situation. At this point, the naked man was gone. He ran into somebody's backyard like shortly before that car started barreling down the street. And that car was still going up and down the street looking for him. So we kind of thought, all right, that's the end of it. Like the naked man got away. The car full of people probably aren't going to find him. Like, let's just go back to our cookout, right? So we turn around and we start walking back to the backyard. And upon arriving in the backyard, after we turn the corner, you want to guess who's sitting, not standing, sitting with his naked ass on one of our chairs? In my fucking spot, by the way? It's Mr. Naked Man. And Chris goes, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? And this guy's like, yo, guys, I know I'm like crashing your party right now. I'm so sorry, but like I need help. Okay, like I need something to wear. They took my clothes. Can you guys just please give me something to wear and then I'll get out of here? I'm so sorry. And Chris goes, yeah, dude, I'll give you something to wear, but please get the fuck up. Don't sit in my lawn chairs with your naked ass, bro. Get up. And the guy gets up. He's like, oh yeah, my bad. And I'm like, dude, out of all the chairs, it had to be mine. And he's like, I'm sorry, dude. And I was like, all right, I have a question for you. And he's like, yeah. I was like, bro, why are you running through our homie's neighborhood naked? What's going on here? He's like, dude, so there's this fraternity I want to join, right? At my college. And immediately I interrupt. I'm like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. And he's like, yeah, dude, like, so to get in, a bunch of us had to go to like our neighborhoods and like knock on a neighbor's door. And then when they answered, say the frat name. And then after that, you're supposed to be able to just like return to the car and like get dressed again. But when I went up to your door, they drove off with my clothes. So I was trying to ask one of you for help at the door to get some clothes. But before I could talk to y'all, they started coming back. And one of them had a baseball bat out the window. So I just ran. And I ran. And, you know, now we're here. And I was like, dude, they tried to beat you with a baseball bat? And he's like, I don't know if they were going to do it, man, but like, I didn't want to chance it. And then he's like, do you think it's cool if I like hang here for a little bit with y'all? And like when it's safe to leave, I'll leave. And I was like, it's not my call, man, but I'm sure Chris would be fine with it. Just wait till he comes out. So like 10 minutes later, Chris comes out and this dude explains to Chris about what just happened, about how this like frat kind of like, you know, went back on their word and then like tried to beat him with a bat or something. I don't know, all this stuff, right? And Chris is like, all right, yeah, man, like you can hang here with us, have a burger or something. And then like in 45 hour, you can leave. And this guy's like, thank you guys so much, bro. Like, thank you. Now, after this, we all sat down to have our burgers and we're just eating. The dude had clothes on, by the way, now. Chris gave him some clothes. So he's fully clothed now, which is good. We weren't just eating dinner with some random naked man. So we're just sitting at the table, right? We're having our burgers. They're fire. It's good, right? And this dude's actually pretty chill. The more and more we're getting to know him, the more and more like he seems like a funny guy. He seems like he belonged with our friends. He seemed like he's someone that we get along with. So we're having a good time, right? And then all of a sudden, maybe about 10, 15 minutes later, we start hearing that car driving down the street again. We start hearing like the air horns and we hear people screaming in the road. And it's obviously those college kids coming down the street yelling, trying to find Mr. Naked and either hit him with a bat or give him his clothes back. I don't know, but I didn't want to find out. So we just didn't say shit. We didn't go out to the front. We didn't acknowledge them, right? Well, after I hear their car like pull down the street and people yelling, I start to hear it slow down, and then I hear it stop, and then I hear car doors closing, and Chris hears it too, and I look over at Chris, and he looks at me, and I was like, yo, you hear that? He goes, yeah, dude, I think they're getting out. And I was like, bro, I bet they're about to start searching backyards for this dude. And this dude starts freaking out. He's like, dude, fuck, like if they come back here, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I was like, chill out, dude, you're gonna be okay. And sure enough, like a few seconds later, dude, we start hearing footsteps coming around the house. And the next thing we know, they all turn the corner and it's like these 4 college kids staring at us. And let me just say, how fucking lucky are they that the first backyard they search in is the one that he's in? Like, I know that was the house he originally knocked on the front door of, so they probably thought, oh, maybe he's here. But like, it's just crazy they guessed correctly. But anyway, they turn the corner and they're staring at us, we're staring at them. And the little leader of their group is like, hey, buddy, you want to come back and get in the car? And Chris speaks up. Chris goes, dude, I don't give a shit about what you guys do to initiate people into your frat and have them join. But this dude just came into my backyard naked and afraid, saying that y'all tried to hit him with a bat or something. Like, we're not about to let that slide. So he's with us now. You guys can leave without him. This guy goes, if we leave without him, he forfeits his clothes and the ability to join the frat. Is that what you want? And then I speak up. I'm like, dude, we don't give a shit about him joining your frat. And clearly he doesn't want to join anymore if he's over here with us. And this guy gets all mad. He's like, who the fuck are you? Who are you talking to? And I was like, bro, I'm talking to you. And my name's Austin. I'm now friends with the dude that you just tried to hurt. And this guy goes, okay, last chance, bro. Get in the car or we're coming over there and we're dragging you to the car. And Chris goes, that won't be necessary. You guys can leave without him. Like, he just said he doesn't want to come with you guys. I think he forfeits the frat. Like, just let him hang here with us. And the guy goes, no, I changed my mind. I'm not letting him forfeit. He's coming back with us now. And then they start, like, walking over to us and start pressing him, like, trying to grab him by the arm. And then some of them are trying to press us, like they're getting in our faces and shit. So Chris immediately turns around and walks into his house. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where are you going? Because I thought he was just bailing on us. I thought Chris just said, fuck this, I'm going to go in and lock the door and let everyone else deal with it. So now we're all dealing with this shit without Chris. And like, he's the owner of the house, so I thought he wouldn't do that. But anyway, yeah, now like tensions are super high. Like people are pressing us. We're getting in each other's faces. The frat leader guy's trying to like pull Mr. Naked out of the chair and like bring him back to the car. And we're trying to break that up. And the other people are trying to break us up from breaking it up. It's just a shit show, right? And then like maybe 20 seconds later, like when everything's really high, like tensions are really high, like a fight's about to break out, the back door slides open and Chris steps out with the craziest shit I have ever seen to this day. Chris steps out with a fucking flamethrower, dude. And I'm not talking like a little crappy flamethrower. This thing is shooting flames like fucking 6 feet, 8 feet high, dude. And he's just spraying it in the air, these flames. And he screams like he's a main character in a movie. This dude screams, y'all better get the fuck off my property or I'm gonna add every one of you motherfuckers to the menu tonight. Bro really said he's about to cook them like a barbecue, dude. Like one of the craziest, most like hardest things I've ever heard. And these dudes turned around and ran the fuck out of there so fast. And like, bro, I almost ran out of there. Before I go any further, by the way, I didn't know he had a fucking flamethrower. I don't know where he got that shit. It kind of looked like one of the ones that Elon Musk used to sell, like that Boring Company flamethrower, but it wasn't one of those. But it definitely shot flames just as high, and it was crazy looking. Like, it was a real deal, like, no shit flamethrower. And after these dudes run away, it's just us now, me, my friends, Mr. Naked, our new friend, and my homie turns off the flamethrower, and Chris, like, puts it down, and I run up to him, and I'm like, dude, 2 questions. 1, what the fuck was that? 2, where did you get a flamethrower? He's like, dude, I bought it, like, last week. My stepdad sold it to me. I didn't think I was going to be using it this soon. And I was like, bro, holy shit. And he was like, yeah, dude, worked pretty well though, huh? And I was like, yeah, dude, it worked a little too well. Hopefully, like, no one called the cops. He's like, yeah, hopefully not. And keep in mind, this whole time, all of my other friends, speechless. Mr. Naked, speechless. They're just like standing there in awe of what just happened. And after I get done talking to Chris, Mr. Naked walks over. I hate that I keep calling him that, but like, I don't know what else to call him. But yeah, Mr. Naked walks over and he's like, dude, you just like saved my ass, bro. Thank you. And Chris is like, yeah, man, no problem. Anytime. And after this, we just like slowly went back to having the most like normal possible cookout we could have had. Obviously, it was anything but normal after that happened, but as normal as it could be afterwards. So yeah, we had our burgers and our hot dogs, and those dudes never came back to bother us. I wish I could have like seen what they went back and told their like frat brothers, like, yeah, we couldn't bring Mr. Naked home. Unfortunately, he has a protector with a flamethrower. It's like, I wish I knew what the reaction was. But anyway, after this, we had a nice, kind of normal cookout. And we spent the rest of the night just kind of kicking it in the house. And those dudes never came back. And us and Mr. Naked became friends. And we started to hang out with him after that. To this day, I'm still friends with him. Matter of fact, he has a name. I should probably stop calling him Mr. Naked because he'd probably be fine with me using his regular name. His name's Sam. I could just say Sam. But honestly, fuck you, Sam. Your name's Mr. Naked now. But yeah, guys, that is the hilarious story of how a man, naked, running through my friend's neighborhood, ran into our backyard for help and clothing. Because some crazy frat bros were trying to make him do some crazy initiation and they like went back on their word and were going to try and hurt him or something. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing, but we saved him from them. He was now a part of our friend group, a much more loving and supportive friend group that won't make him run around naked and chase him with a baseball bat or hurt him. Yeah, we're much better friends, I would like to say. And Sam is with us now. So guys, there's a few morals to this story, okay? Moral number one, if a frat tries to make you get naked in public for an initiation, I recommend you don't do that, because that could land you in jail, obviously. Number two, if you see a naked man running through your neighborhood screaming for help, you should just call the cops, honestly. And number three, I don't recommend owning a flamethrower, okay? I do not know where his stepdad acquired a flamethrower, but like, that thing could not have been legal or safe. I don't know. It was insane. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the story. Definitely a funny / crazy, just all around ridiculous one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys all later. Peace.
I'm in a bad mood, I can see it today. I remember all my friends and now I'm all